So now that we've built every single effect, we're going to start assembling it in different objects so it's easy to kick it out to rendering. So first we're going to go object level and we're going to make ourselves new geometry. And so this is where we're going to put everything. So I'm going to have, this will be water. I'm going to make a new geo. This will be ice. New geo. This will be flames. And this will be dirt. So I'll get these separated a bit. So now water is super straightforward. So I'm going to do just an object merge. And if we go up top to our outs, out water. So if I go to frame 1, get out of manual, here's our water. We had already cached this out, so this will swirl and then disintegrate as the ice starts to grow. So not much to really worry about here. We'll be able to throw a pretty simple shader on it and it'll look like water. So that's that for setting this one up. But what's going to be the most complicated is ice. Because there's 4 stages basically of this ice. And so I'll show you how to assemble it into something that all looks seamless. So first we need to be up here in our magic, and we're going to first just bring in ice. So that's the first effect that we did. And if I scroll through this, we can see, up there's the ice. It's growing out, filling the bowl, and we're good to go there. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that this has normals. This will be for shading. So that looks good. Now we're going to do an object merge. And so the first transition that we have is when it shatters. So now we need to find, let's see, we're going to do ice shatter. But ice shatter is actually made up of 2 things. We have the bowl of ice that there is, and then we have the ice boolean, because if we look at this, this doesn't exist until 1100. So there's our bowl that shatters, but then we also have the ice that's separated, so we're going to have to do another object merge. And we just need ice boolean, and we'll look here, and then this is our leftover boolean. And so we can do a merge of these 2, and they're not going to look the same. You can see that this looks different than this, and the reason for that is that we had packed all of this. So if I select over this, you can see that it gives me the individual pieces. We want to unpack it now that we're going to be rendering it. And so you can see here that now this looks way different, and the reason for that is, again, we need to give these normals. So I'm going to put this here. And if we look here, now it all looks the same. So now we're going to build a switch. And we're going to go into manual. We're going to say at 1099 is when we want to make the swap. So we'll go from our first input here to our second. So if we go back to auto update, we can view here. And then if I move to the next frame, it doesn't really look like anything changed. Now we have the cracks. That's just the difference, is that it'll be booleaned, but other than that, it'll look the same. And so what this will do is this will start to fracture. if I move up in the timeline, we can see that these pieces are going to start going up. And now we know that as these are still fracturing, we are altering the ice crystals. And so we know that we alter the ice crystals at 11:36 or so. That's when the pyro starts to kick in. So we can go and we need to make another switch, because now we're going to just be altering this. So I'm going to put the switch here, and then I'm going to create another object merge. And now we need ice melt. And so we know that the ice starts to melt on frame 11:36, so I just need to make this switch here. And so now if I go back to this switch, I'm just going to view it from 11:23, just a random frame before stuff happens. So this is starting to shatter, and then if we go here, it's still shattering. And then if I scrub here, there should still be stuff left here, and we should start to see this melt. Yep. And then if we move here, eventually all of this ice is going to be gone. Probably around frame 11:65, I believe. So we'll just look at 11:63, see what's left. All right, I guess it's gone by then. So then it's gone, and we don't really need to worry about it anymore. There's going to be more stuff that we need to do in here, but I'm just going to make a null here just to sort of signify that this has all been assembled, and so then anything else that we're doing to this will be below our assembly here. There's another thing that we need to do with the ice, and that is we have the mist, and so the mist is sort of its own thing. It's going to be rendered on its own, but I still consider that part of the ice, so I'm going to make more geometry, and we're just going to make this ice mist. And we're going to kind of keep everything in its own category, so everything in the ice is going to stay with the ice. So I'm going to do an object merge here. Ice mist. If we go to where it starts to grow, probably around here, there is our ice mist. So that looks good. So there'll be a few more things that we need to assemble with the ice, but first let's just get everything in its place. So I'm going to do an object. We're going to do out fire. Let's just make sure that this is looking right. So this is in 11. Yep. Looking good. That should poof out. Great. And then we'll go to dirt and object merge. And then we'll just find, I don't remember what I called it. That's fine. We're just going to pop into Magic real quick. Oh, I called it nothing. And that's why I didn't have the null. So out dirt. Go back to dirt and out dirt. Let's just make sure this is doing what we expect. Should poof around here. I'm in manual. And there it is. So we'll be doing more stuff with the dirt as well, because we need to actually instance grains on top of these, which won't be very hard. We just need to get some grains, probably change the shape up a little bit so it won't be perfect spheres. And then we're going to give each point a random color with a ramp, but that'll be one of the later things that we do. So that's looking good.